I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Welcome to the Pleasure Principles podcast. I challenge you to listen to this episode in its entirety. I want you to examine your biases and learn something new about your body, even if you never actually want to try this. Stick with me for a minute and you're going to see why. The more you want to skip to the next episode, the more you need to at least listen to this information. So you know me, I love diving into a taboo topic and uncovering the pleasure in it. That mix between novelty and connectedness is where the magic lies in relationships. This can be learning something new about your body or your health. Or maybe learning something that gives you a new perspective on your partner or your relationships. I love working at the intersection of science, psychology, health, and how it's impacting our life, our sex, and our relationships. Because I believe running away from our pleasure is never the answer. I believe that uncomfortable feeling that you get when you hear we're talking about anal sex is a sign that you need to get curious, explore your beliefs and opinions, and look for the pleasure. See what your resistance is telling you. Maybe some of you have always been curious or intrigued about anal sex. Maybe you've tried it, didn't have the knowledge to make it great. And maybe you carry some uncovered shame about the topic because of what you've been told, what it means about you. Maybe you think poop is gross. So wherever you're at is okay, whatever your reason is. I hope that you listen to this podcast with an open mind and just trust the process, because when we open ourselves up to receiving love and pleasure, when we open ourselves to receiving so much more, acceptance, kindness, great sex, better health, more wealth, it's all the same. It's all connected. That's why the women that I work with they start having better sex, but everything changes when you have shifted to that pleasure mindset. Sex and pleasure are the gateway to receiving the life you deserve to live and learning to be open to new topics, even the ones that might make you feel uncomfortable in the beginning. And it's really a shame to not explore your sexuality because of misinformation that you've been given. So at least if we know and we're educated on a topic and we can make an informed, evidence-based decision that is right for us instead of some shamey, terrible sex ed decision, like bad beliefs that we've gotten from life, then that is going to make your sexuality and your sexual health journey so much more fun, and it will improve your relationships as well. I want you to learn to live and start letting pleasure in. And that practice in and of itself is going to open you up to so many more possibilities and opportunities in your life. Ask anyone that has worked with me. As always, I'm going to preface this conversation with the caveat that consent is the most important piece of any sexual encounter. Consent is sexy. You want somebody to be an enthusiastic yes, period. If you don't like anal sex, you don't have to like anal sex or want anal sex or feel pressured. If you decide to try it and then after 30 seconds you decide that you don't want it anymore, that's totally valid. If this is the first time you are even thinking about or entertaining the idea of expanding your pleasure with anal play, I encourage you to listen to your body. How are you feeling right now listening to this? If you're feeling shame and uncomfortable, that is an opportunity to listen and grow and expand your idea of pleasure, even if this doesn't end up being for you. This could be a beautiful opportunity to face some of the judgments and prejudices that you carry to allow space for more love for everyone who consents to it, to break old patterns of shame and shaming others for their choices, and just make room for more pleasure for you, more pleasure for your partner, more pleasure for the world. And I'm trying to say that if you are uptight, rigid, have very firm beliefs, and think that anal sex and everyone who has it is wrong, maybe you're never going to get to the place where you have anal sex yourself, but this is still an opportunity to expand your thinking and be like lit. So that's energetically, and when it comes to Chinese medicine theory, being like rigid and firm in your beliefs is the actual opposite state of having like amazing mind-blowing sex, which is where you are relaxed, open, and able to receive. So if you are feeling curious, keep listening. Maybe it's not something that you're ready to explore right now, but perhaps down the road when you feel safe and comfortable enough, it would be. And it's very interesting. The women I work with that struggle to relax, let go, flow, often are very uptight, often are very controlling, and that's okay. It's gotten us a lot of success in other areas of our lives, but it will not get us the success in the bedroom and in our intimate relationships. So this can be a really great area to explore. If you're excited by this, maybe even a little turned on by this, then I encourage you to listen, enjoy, and open up the conversation with your partner. Maybe even re-listen to this episode again together. You might not even know what you're missing, but if you've been searching for answers for why you're so successful in your career, but lacking in other areas, why your libido's low, why you feel so burnt out, overworked, why you're snappy and irritated all the time, why you can't lose the weight you want to lose, why you're exhausted but you can't sleep at night. You take care and run the show at work and at home, but you can't figure out how to take care of yourself the way you want to. You are in the right place. Maybe your relationship is on the brink of divorce, or you're missing the days of connection and intimacy that you once had. If you long for the spark and connection and you want to feel like yourself again, that radiant, turned on woman, then I have the solution for you. Work with me, Dr. Jordin Wiggins, naturopathic doctor, sex educator, and feminine burnout coach, in my executive one-on-one coaching program, to learn how to receive pleasure for better sex, better health, and more wealth. I promise you, they are all connected. I work with women to teach them how to receive pleasure and to open to all of the possibilities that this life has to offer you in health, wealth, and love. Because you deserve success across the board in your life. Finally, find the secret that was missing from all the work that you've done before and understand why you are so successful at work, but lack the spark and connection you long for in your relationships. When you learn how to receive pleasure and learn what was holding you back, you unlock possibilities in every area of your life. Suddenly, you can receive compliments, trust, acceptance, friendships, money. You know how to take better care of yourself, and you receive the praise, acknowledgement, help, and support that you've always wanted, but didn't know how to get. Everything comes when you learn how to receive and adopt a pleasure mindset as a way of being. My executive coaching program gives you exclusive access to me in person or via video chat, and my years of experience of working with thousands of women, Eastern medicine theories, and practical everyday ways to apply the work to see real growth in your life and relationships. Get the support you need to repair your relationships, start having mind-blowing sex, and open to the possibilities of what great pleasure means to you. Revolutionize your relationships and build the abundant future that you, your relationships, and your loved ones deserve. Click the link in the show notes or visit my page on Instagram at Dr. Jordin Wiggins to learn more about my coaching packages. A top rule of mine when it comes to anal sex is lube. Lube, lube, lube. If you are not familiar with lube, listen to our episode that we dropped last week. I break down the specifics of the top 3 lube types and everything that you need to know. Now, I want to do some myth busting about anal sex and anal play in general. This is not what you see in porn. And if that is what your partner is expecting, then no wonder you have never enjoyed anal sex before. If I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. The story of, I hate anal sex, it's so painful. We tried it once and we've never tried it again. Or I hear something along the lines of, my partner begs me for it, so I let him have the butt once a year on his birthday and just kind of like deal with the pain of it. I'm going to leave it there, but you can hear the tone of my voice and infer what I think about that. So even the sex performers that are having this kind of anal sex don't usually just show up and jump right into what you see on screen. They are putting in hours, days, sometimes a lifetime of prep work. They're changing their diets. They are practicing. They are stretching. They are taking breaks, and they are working their way up to the type of sex that you see them having in porn. So if you are approaching anal sex as a shove it in, jackrabbit kind of sex, it isn't realistic, nor will it's just not realistic to be able to see the type of anal sex that you often see in porn without any foreplay, deep trust, connection, and effort in knowing your body from both partners. Yeah. And the other story that I hear is really along the lines of, I just do it for my partner. My husband begs me. He won't stop trying to go back there, even though I've told him not to. And anytime there is begging or whining involved in sex, it's a major turnoff for me and most of the women that I work with, unless, of course, it's a kink of yours. But we want to feel safe, secure in our sexual encounters, not obligated, coerced, tricked, worn down. It's gross. As I said, enthusiastic fuck yeses that's what's sexy. That's what's a turn on. And oftentimes, even if I'm working with a couple where one is a like hard no on something and the other is really desiring that type of sexual act, it's very fun to work with and play and find some type of middle ground, something that moves them both closer, both excites them both to work on together. So even if you're on completely different pages, we don't always have to stay there. If you're not in the right space, physically or mentally, you can do a lot of damage if you are not prepared for anal sex. And I'm talking fissures, tears, pelvic pain. So how can you have pleasure-focused anal sex? When we're looking at stats, 30 to 40% of heterosexual couples have tried anal sex. This number would be much higher if we also included general anal play and not just intercourse. It's becoming increasingly more mainstream. More couples are talking about it and more people are trying it. Anal sex can be such an intimate, pleasurable, and fun experience with your partner when you approach it in the right way, a pleasure-focused way. So let's get the facts straight. What is anal sex and what feels good? You need to know your body. What feels good for you may be different from the next person and may be different from day to day. So this is going to take some exploring, but that is part of the fun and the adventure and the experience of sharing this with your partner or exploring on your own. Let's talk about anatomy. We talk about anatomy in all of my courses. I find it's like a starting point. It's like the baseline that we need to feel comfortable exploring sexually. Because if we're just sticking it in holes that we don't know what they are or what they do, it's a disempowering position to be in. So your anus is a collection of muscles. It's the end of your digestive tract where you evacuate your poo. It has a bunch of nerve endings that are sensitive. It's meant to feel good when you incorporate anal play into your sex. This can be a good place to start experimenting and exploring what you like and the sensations of anal play. You can try yourself, use a wand, have your partner incorporate it into your sexual activities. So moving on with the anatomy, behind the anus is the rectum. And then there are sphincters. These are muscles that clench and relax depending on what your body needs. Some of these muscles we can consciously control and some we can't. For anal sex, you need to practice and be relaxed to allow entry of a penis, toy, anything. And if you experience any pain from anal sex, it could be because the external sphincter is not relaxed enough. So if you are thinking, oh, I don't really want to do this, poo is gross, I don't understand what's going on, you're definitely not in a relaxed enough state to receive penetration that will be pleasurable. These sensitive nerve endings in the muscles are one of the reasons why anal sex can feel really, really good. Women's anatomy also means that the butt is positioned right behind the walls of your vagina, where we experience pleasure from the nerves that are located there. What are my tips for anal sex? Number 1, I will repeat this one: lube, always lots of lube. Silicone-based lubes are your best bet, and lube reduces the chances of tears and makes it more fun and pleasurable for you both. Number 2, stay present, especially as you explore and find what you like. This is not the time for a few glasses of wine or smoking a joint beforehand. We want you to be present to your body and the sensations. You need to be in tune. I also do not recommend using numbing creams. This is like super counterintuitive with women that have pelvic pain, or if there's pain with anal sex, then just numb it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. We need to be able to listen to our body and what it's telling you. If we're turning off that signal that this is too much, this is too fast because of a numbing cream or a substance, then we're more likely to injure ourselves and have a less pleasurable experience overall. Tip number 3, use condoms for STIs and protection, because fecal matter does have bacteria in it, so we want to use condoms. Tip number 4, go slow. This is not a race. Want you to remember that you are in control. You say stop, slow down, and your partner listens. There is no negotiating at this point. And oftentimes that can be a big turn on for your partner when you take the reins. It is imperative to you feeling safe and secure and trust your partner. And if you don't feel that way, or you're never going to be able to open up and feel comfortable enough to experience the joy and pleasure that anal sex provides, it is imperative that you feel safe, secure, and trusting of your partner. This is where I see a lot of dynamics at play for super women, because with anal sex, you need to completely let go and surrender. And if you don't trust your partner to lead, and if you don't feel safe, you're never going to be able to open up and feel comfortable enough to experience and enjoy the pleasures that anal sex provides. You can get dilating sets to practice with different sizes, allowing you to start small and slowly increase in size of penetration. Always make sure that you're getting toys specifically designed for anal use, which usually means that there is like some type of plug or stopping it from being sucked up into your anus. Tip number 5, relax your body. Breathing, deep breaths, squeeze and release, learning to surrender and let go, breathe through your tension. This is a really neat part for you and your partner to connect, because as you are relaxing and releasing, they can be penetrating deeper. So it's a really good time for you guys to get super in sync with what's going on with your body and what's going to feel good. Tip number 6, communicate. This isn't the kind of sex that you can just have. You have to talk about it before. You have to know your boundaries, expectations, and the role of your partner. You have to know that you can bail or stop if you need to. You need to communicate throughout. We know that this is a big problem. Sex is something that people have but don't talk about. This is not one of those cases. We need to give direction and communicate when it feels good so that your partner can respond. It requires trust, listening, communication, and remember, you are in control. You determine when you are ready to receive. Number 7, expect the unexpected. It might not go perfectly. You may have to stop and try again another day. You may want to speak with your doctor or pelvic floor physiotherapist if you have a specific question about pain, your anatomy, health, and readiness of your body to participate in anal sex. And it is a but. There is always a chance of poo, no matter how prepared you are. Overall, this experience is rare. Your poo is stored in a different part in your colon, and it gets way over exaggerated when we hear horror stories of anal sex. You do have options like douching or enemas, but I will caution you about overusing these techniques as they can also cause other problems, dry out your membranes, etc. If you and your partner is going to be disgusted, grossed out, not able to go take a shower to rinse off and get over the possibility of a little poo, well, I wouldn't feel safe if I was worried about the shame or consequences of normal bodily function. If there is blood or bleeding, you should talk to your healthcare provider. There shouldn't be any. You shouldn't be tearing if you are doing this right. But I might expect a little bit when you are first experimenting. If there is anything more, you should seek medical attention. So this is just an intro. There is much else out there. Let me know if you want me to get into more details about anal sex and anal play. Start making an effort to have the kind of sex that's worth having for both of you. If your relationship is at a breaking point, if the sex has gone to shit, this is where me and my team are here to help. For better sex and more connected relationships, work with us. Great sex is just the beginning because everything comes when you know how to receive pleasure. The work starts with you. It will always be about you and the pleasure you experience and allow yourself to receive from this world. Pleasure is the way back to yourself. It's how you will create the life that you want. If you want to learn more about cultivating a fulfilling and satisfying sex life, visit thepleasurecollective.com/programs. Have a great week, everybody.
If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.